building is a laboratory for my stage work. Here are my offices for my visual arts and theatre work. And I have a big rehearsal space, a stage, and a small rehearsal space. And here's the laboratory where I create my stage work. And it's also a laboratory for research. I work often here together with scientists. I teach here often.
Here?
Yes, I teach here also.
Yes? To who?
To actors and dancers.
Okay, yes.
About my methods, about my guiding line.
Okay.
And it's also a laboratory to research with scientists about my method also. Because we're preparing a publication about a guiding line for the performer of the 21st century. And so in this building is more the laboratory where I create and research for my stage work. Yeah. And then I have a big studio where I only do my visual arts, my sculptures and my drawings. I do this for the gallery because Danielle opened the first time his gallery in Belgium, and I said to Danielle, I will do some interviews, I will allow some people to visit me in the laboratory. That's the only thing I said. Okay. I invited the last 5 years in the laboratory colleagues, visual artists, writers, philosophers, theatre artists, who created in this building permanent works. Like the kitchen is done by Marian Brumovic, Luc Tuymans painted the ceiling. Because I think it's important for young actors and dancers or young philosophers and theatre scientists to work here, that they are confronted with works of important artists, and that they not only do it with the Facebook or with the computer, but that they really see works from important artists. Like Marina Abramovic is an important performance artist, so it's for young actors and dancers and directors who work here and philosophers to be confronted with the real work, you understand? So that's the reason I invited colleagues, friends who make permanent works in the building here. And it becomes like the building, the laboratory becomes like almost like a time capsule. Yes. You understand, from important colleagues of me. No, the link is that we are all colleagues, but I invite you who I respect, who I think are very good artists. And that's for me the most important link. They are friends and I respect their work. But their universe is sometimes completely different than my universe. But that doesn't matter. I can recognize quality with something completely different than my work. No? Yeah, they come, they stay 2-3 days in the building, and they walk around with one of my assistants, and they look around and they choose a place, and they are free to make what they want. Yes, permanent. It stays permanent with the building. Okay. Yeah.
So
because the building will become a foundation.
Yes.
About my theatre work. In a couple of years it will be all the archive about my theatre drawings, theatre photographs, theatre movies, original scripts will be here in this laboratorium in the foundation. And all the works will be permanent. And the city will keep this building as almost like a private foundation and also as a kind of private sign of time. They're all friends of me, because I know most of these artists are over 20 and 30 years. And they are artists, let us say, or theatre artists, or philosophers, or writers that I respect. And they come all to the building, they stay here a couple of days, and they get in return an original work of me. I think my roots, of course, in the Louvre I choose to make a dialogue with the big Flemish masters, with Rubens, with Van Eyck, Van Dyck. Of course, my spiritual artistic roots are Flemish. Because they're for me masters. I mean, I'm a dwarf, born in the country of giants. So, yeah, they're for me, Jeremisch Bosch, Rubens, Van Dyck, Van Eyck, they're still masters who influence me, my work also, yeah. We're all very strong individuals, I think. And I think what connects us probably is a kind of, you could say, a kind of maybe Flemish irony, a Flemish subversivity.
Yes.
Yeah.
In what way?
In the way of tradition in art. I mean, when you look to, for example, when you look to a Bosch painting, I don't know, you know, there is a quite small painting in the Louvre from Jeremisch Bosch. It calls the Ship of Fools. It's a very small painting. And the painting is, let us say, at the same time making fun of the power, making fun about religion. At the same time, he's a very Catholic man, Jeremisch Bosch, but he was attacking also the church. It's a small painting full of imagination. And full of subversivity. And I think this kind of tradition, I think you find often back even in the contemporary artists today. I think my colleagues, their work, and I'm not a painter, I'm completely somebody else, I look timeless, but his work his paintings are quite, yeah, subversive, you could say. They look nice, but underneath there is a lot of poison inside. Yeah. No, I work with him already, I think 15 years, I think. You have to see my work lately. It's, I mean, over the 30 years, I think the body was always the subject and object of research. So I made a lot of sculptures about the human body. I researched the skin, the skeleton, the organs, the body liquids, and of course in this parcours I had to end up with the brain, because the brain is the most sexy part of the human body. When there's no imagination, there's no erection. And Rizzolatti, Giacometto Rizzolatti, I met 4 or 5 years ago. I was invited in a congress about neurology and brain research, and the gentleman was also there, and he knew my work, he was following my work, so we became friends. So he invited me a couple of times in Parma, in his laboratorium, and then I saw his experiments, what he did with the monkeys. And you know, he's the inventor of the mirror neurons. The guy will get a Nobel Prize. He proved now that we have mirrors on the neurons. He, let us say, he scientifically proved what means imitation, what means empathy and compassion.
Yes.
So, let us say, he influenced my work. So, the exhibition I'm creating with Daniel Complon, I wrote a script for us both, and we shot a movie in Parma. And it's about beauty, art and science, the relationship between this. And then I created some new marble pieces and drawings related to the movie that I made with him. And these I will show in Brussels, because in Brussels it's a kind of world premiere of this movie. I like sometimes to work with very classical materials, but give it a contemporary glance, almost. Like that's the reason I like working bronze also. But also with the bronze pieces, I make the bronze pieces, but then I, let us say, polish them, that they become so yellow, and then I do an airplane lack over it, that they become goldish, and that they go away from the classical bronze. Because normally classical bronze is brown and green. So that's with the marble. So for me, the marble, to work with the marble is because it's a very pure material. The white is almost like the milk of the breast of a woman, because it's the purest marble in the world. It's Michelangelo P. Let me put it in a simple way, I choose the best material for the idea that I have, or the best medium for the idea that I have. I'm always sitting on my knees for beauty. It depends from the content of the work. And I think it's also important for me as an artist to not... let's put it this way, you have artists who have something, they are successful with it and they repeat it. The style stays the same or the medium stays the same. But me, 30 years already, I'm always changing. And I like that because my work is always about research. And I choose the best medium or the material for the work I make. Because I like myself very much. I think I'm very beautiful, fantastic.
Yes? That's your thing?
No, it's a joke. It's my answer was just the quality of your question. Making self-portrait is almost like peeling off a mask.
Yes.
Because you're always somebody else. You don't have the experience when you look in the mirror that someday you look maybe beautiful, someday you look very ugly, someday you look very clownesque, someday you look very smart. So I think you have to see the self-portraits in this case. Making self-portrait is essentially always making somebody else. A self-portrait is always a fascination for something else. Plus it starts also to look to the world, it starts with yourself. Huh? Plus my work is about the investigation of the body. When I look to myself in the mirror, I mean, I become grey, I have a lot of wrinkles, I became fatter. You change constantly, you're constantly in a state of metamorphosing as a human body, as a human person. And I think that's what I'm doing with the self-portraits. We're never one person. We have different identities and different states of mind, and we change constantly. So it's also a kind of ongoing project of metamorphosing and changing and asking yourself, what means this? How do we change? What means this facial expression? What means the skin when you become older? It's different now. I think all the self-portraits are questions about this. Yeah. And most of the time in my company I write the text, I design the set, the light, and I direct or choreograph. Yes. So they publish my plays in my diaries in France also. Yeah.
Okay.
And in the diary you can read a lot of reflection in my thinking about visual arts, about theater, about acting, about making an exhibition. So.
Okay.
Just,
Yes.
Yeah.